like play on his birthday. He couldn't play the Cavs. He had to wait an extra day.
Yeah, that's rude.
Missed opportunity. They could have marketed that a decent amount.
Yeah, could have. So yeah, and also happy birthday to Tiger Woods as well. People forget. 12/30's GOAT Day. So happy birthday to him as well.
How'd you celebrate Tiger's birthday?
I didn't do anything cool to celebrate Tiger's birthday. So
wow,
that's
not
that's
your
on
goat.
me. I mean, it's like
he's not your goat of the goats.
It's like it's December 30th. You can only do so much outside golf related. So
it's true. What are your expectations for the Cavs in this game against the Warriors? Which it feels like with the Warriors, we don't even know what we're really going to get because they don't even know what they're going to get on a night-to-night basis right now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about the Warriors. Oh, I do. I'm also in honor of LeBron and the Warriors. I'm wearing my the Warriors blew a 3-1 lead shirt. So really, really going all out with the props today. You have to hashtag let them know whenever you can. So yeah, I mean, the Warriors are kind of the Warriors are in a weird place. I actually really liked I really liked the preview that you wrote about this game. I thought you did a good job of describing like how the Warriors are kind of in a weird place and they're just trying to figure out what worked, like what works. I remember back when the Warriors were good when they played the Cavs, I was thinking about writing an article about no, you can't fall asleep. Cavaliers LQ. I remember I was thinking about writing an article about how like depth is the new like superstar in the NBA with like the Cavs winning with depth, the Thunder winning with depth, Celtics, you go down the line, and like the Warriors were like first in the West at that time. And I asked Steve Kerr, I was like, so is there like something with this depth thing that like the best teams in the league are just kind of winning this way? And he was like, I don't know, but we just kind of, that's the only way that we can win. And I thought that was kind of interesting, not interesting in the sense that like I could write about it because that wasn't an answer that would have, wasn't the answer I was personally looking for. But now you kind of see like, yeah, it might have just been like a House of Cards situation where they weren't like, they were kind of getting by with everybody just doing just enough. Kind of like, are you a big baseball guy, Corey? Or
like, not really. I'm like casual.
It's kind of like in like the playoffs where somebody like, they don't do this as much anymore because like the rule changes. But like, all right, we're going to bring in this relief pitcher for like just this one guy. All right, let's hurry up and get him out of the game before people realize how to hit him. All right, let's get this guy in to face this guy. Okay, let's get him out of the game. And that's kind of what it felt like the Warriors were doing, where it's like, we're just playing everybody. Everybody's coming in. They're trying hard. And then, all right, like, thanks for your 3.5 minutes. Get back to the bench, please. Let Steph Curry do his thing. And then it kind of like that whole philosophy just kind of fell on itself because it's not really a sustainable thing. It's something that it's funny if you look at like some of the Olympic rosters. Kenny Atkinson has talked about this, where like the French national team was playing like 12 guys against the US. And kind of the idea was like, hey, you're going to go out there for like a quick line change. So get out there and just like, mess stuff up. And, that can only go so far in a 48-minute game. And I think that's kind of what the Warriors are seeing because they don't, they really, you look at their roster, they have a bunch of decent guys. They don't have a lot of good guys.
Yeah. It feels like they don't even have like a true second star. It feels like there's a huge tier break between Steph, and then you could argue it's anyone between Wiggins, Draymond, or Kuminga for like their second best player. But it's not saying much to be the second best player on the Warriors on a good compared to the rest of the Western Conference would be like most teams' third or fourth best player. So they're in a weird spot.
Yeah, and I think that's a good point to bring up that, like, I don't know if, you need like a prototypical, like, this is our second guy to be good, but those guys that you all mentioned are all very like inconsistent in their own ways. Wiggins is inconsistent. Kuminga's inconsistent. Schroeder, there's a reason he's been on 19 teams in 3 years. Draymond Green can't stop punching people and really isn't like a good offensive player. So it's just like, you just don't know what you're getting from these guys on a night-to-night basis. So.
And bringing in Schroeder is also another case of just like, yes, I understand the logic behind it, but it's not at all adding variability or consistency to their lineups because you added, like you said, another player that's so momentum based. And someone that on most teams, if he just wasn't feeling it, would just get pulled. But now they're like they have to be all in on it because you traded pieces for it when you already didn't have a lot of options to trade outside of Kuminga, who apparently, despite their best efforts, is not getting as much attention as they would like.
Right. Also, the
really worst kept secret in the league. Yeah.
I was going to say 3 ugly offensive possessions from the Cavs there. Like, just, they got, first possession, they got like bottled up at like half court. Second possession, Donovan Mitchell dribbled it 93 times. That possession, nothing good happened. So it's just, I'm not sure what is happening so far, but it seems like the Cavs just kind of need to settle the game down.
It also seems like Draymond Green really is amped up for this game.
Oh, there you go. Nice shot there from Darius. It's sort of a weird, defensive matchup with kind of how small the Warriors are going right now.
Yeah.
So that's something to keep an eye on. Mobley, I felt Mobley had a really good game the first time they all matched up together. Like, looks like right now you have Mobley on Wiggins and Wade on Green. Yep. So I understand that, and you're going to switch a lot. But yeah, that was not a good switch there. The Cavs usually don't try to switch 1 through 5, try to switch like 3 through 5. So Darius Garland just got kind of stuck on not knowing if he should try to switch over or if he should just stay with this guy. Good. Nice shot there from Donovan. But yeah, thank you to everybody who's in the chat who decided to stay up and watch this game with us. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
And
real troopers.
Yeah, see, I'm like a night person, so I don't even think that staying up to 10 o'clock for these games is like that big of a deal, but I know that I'm a weird guy. So I get that.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Whenever the Cleveland Cavaliers can tell me they appreciate me,
Yeah, well, I appreciate him too, even though, I didn't get named like you did.
It is nice when I can get name dropped when I wasn't even the one who offered up the Cowboys. It's always nice.
Well, yeah, you were kind of nodding along.
They're like, wow, yeah, Corey definitely, he really gets us.
Yeah.
I'm super interested to know how the Warriors season is going to go for like the next month or so, because I feel like they're going to try to make something happen. But the question is who's going to really want to buy into Kuminga, because that's what it really feels like.
Well, and you have to pay. Yep. And you have to pay him too, because contract. I believe his contract's up this year, or his extension eligible. Oh yeah, because he's in Mobley's class. Mm-hmm. So.
And then I get to the same question of why would the team who wants to be in Kuminga not be the same team that's interested in Brandon Ingram? Because I feel like it's two of the same contractually.
Right.
And I feel like with Brandon Ingram, you kind of know what you're getting. Yeah,
Dan.
Dan always knows.
That was a big flop. And the shot might have been going up first. Darius had a point there. I think the frustrating thing if you're like a Warriors fan is that you can beat anybody. 2 flops in a row, nice. That's
oh, please.
these are. I don't like challenging this though. These are so like. These are. Are they
It
challenging
turns
it?
like a frame by frame analysis.
Yeah, and then you see, well, Mobley did extend a little bit, so it's one of those things that like it's really hard to like overturn in a
Yeah, because the
way.
nature of it is it's such like a bang bang kind of thing. But when you literally break it down to the replay, it just makes it like not even feel like it's the same play pretty much.
Yeah, and there's 4 minutes left. I mean, we're just 4 minutes into this game. Like this isn't deciding the game.
This is pivotal.
Yeah, and you can't challenge anything the rest of the way, including like, if it's a close game, 45 seconds left, someone may or may not be, out of bounds or whatever. It's like, you'd like to save your challenge there for the end or something like that. So we will see. Mobley didn't make the shot, so it would be 2 free throws. I think that's just kind of a frustration foul. I mean, a frustration challenge, which JB would always do. So many frustration challenges. But yeah, it's just a frustration challenge because it's like that first one shouldn't have been a foul.
Yeah, I agree.
Right.
Too early in the game. I don't think it's worth it, but well, maybe it is just a timeout.
Well, we'll see.
Arts and crafts.
Yeah.
Jackson, on a typical work day, what time are you getting up, seeing as you're a night person?
I work from home and I get up at 8:50 and start at 9. So.
Oh, well, you know what? It all makes sense now. That's nice.
Yeah. Do you work tomorrow?
No, the biotech industry, like the last week of the year is always off because the labs that you usually work with give their workers that week off. So you're just kind of tied to them. So it's like a teacher's vacation, kind of like Christmas Eve through the like New Year's Day.
Nice. Yeah, I'm not working tomorrow, but I did work today, and yeah, that's cool. So we don't have to worry about that. Hopefully, everybody else in the chat doesn't have to work tomorrow either, because these games are rough when you're like blogging about them at like the middle of the night, and then you got to wake up and go, to do your real job. So that's not fun.
Not a great time. Well, maybe it was a timeout.
They did not challenge. That's smart.
Thank God. You always take those. Okay.
I just can't believe how many threes he made in like game 7, the first half. He made like 4 or 5 threes. It felt like that were just killers.
And in retrospect, it's like one of those things where it's like you realize the anomaly that was.
Right, but also
the point of that. There you go.
But it's also like when it's like a 1-game series like that, it's kind of like, well, it doesn't really matter. What are you going to say? Well, we lost a championship, but we're okay losing that way because Draymond Green is a 33% 3-point shooter, and the odds are he's not going to. It's like, yeah. You can lose a regular season game. You gotta like
throw the hand up.
Yeah.
Be like, yeah, he normally doesn't do it, but on tonight, it seems like he is.
Yeah. Yeah, last time they played in Golden State, Draymond and Donovan got into like a little bit of a fight.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh my God.
Yeah, not a great start. The Warriors, don't seem like the team that's lost it and trying to find it right now.
No. They seem like they came out inspired for this game.
Yeah.
I mean, you would assume that they're probably still a little resentful of how the first match went, where they just got out boat raced like right away.
Yeah, that was crazy. The field house was on fire. People were losing their minds. Because there's always a lot of, there's still animosity there with the fan base, and there's also, nice take from Darius, nice and one. And there's also there's Steph Curry fans everywhere. So people, Steph Curry fans from Pittsburgh come over to watch the game, and, West Virginia. So there's always a lot of Warriors fans in the building. So there's always a different energy when they all play.
Yeah.
But yeah, good stuff. Yeah, that was a really good take. Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying, I'm wondering if they're gonna switch the Dean Wade on Draymond. It feels like Draymond's definitely getting the better of that matchup right now. Well, Dean's out, so now it's Jared Allen's turn.
It's okay. Karis LeVert's in the game. We're fine.
It's true. Oh.
I don't love that shot so early in the shot clock. A corner three is good, but if it's fading and it's kind of contested and there's 18 seconds on the clock, I don't know, maybe let's calm down just a little bit. The difference between that shot that's wide open, catch and shoot.
The thing that's kind of aggravated me about Strus to this point is it feels like he's just trying to shoot his way into regular season form, but it just feels like the shots are kind of similar to that first shot he just took, where it's out of rhythm to the rest of the offense. It kind of just feels like it's he's hijacking the offense sometimes.
Right. I see that. I get that.
But it's also one of those things too, where it's you can't really blame the guy when he hasn't been playing real NBA speed for the whole season, then gets thrust into a team that plays at a pretty fast pace.
Yeah, it's definitely tough to really get that all figured out and stuff. Just in that one shot there. But yeah, if you are watching on YouTube, and I think we're on YouTube, if you want to watch the stream along with us, where you're able to not just see our face, but see the stream, head over to playback.tv/fearthesword, and you can watch along with us. And if you are watching on playback and you need access to the stream, let us know. But yeah, just kind of not really a great, I wouldn't say it's a terrible start for the Cavs, but it's certainly not a good start. So, we'll see what happens. I really liked the way Mitchell came out in that Nuggets game, just kind of said hey, this is a road game, but I'm not going to let us lose this game. And the Cavs kind of came out on their back foot so far today. Kind of reminiscent of those Atlanta Hawks losses, which I still can't believe they lost both of those games.
Yeah. It did feel like at the time the narrative built that Atlanta was turning the corner, and the further away we get from that too, it's I don't know if they did turn the corner actually.
Yeah.
Maybe we just had two bad games in a row.
Yeah, well then they did beat the Knicks right after that to get to the NBA Cup. So,
and they beat the Celtics right before us too.
Right. So, they beat some good teams. But yeah,
The Hawks are an offense though, where they're a pendulum. Like they either go all one way or completely tailspin with the way that they just kind of huck it up.
Yeah, I never bought that they were like a particularly tough matchup for the Cavs. Just thought the Cavs played bad, and all NBA teams can make shots.
My biggest concern with the start of this game is that I feel like if the Cavs kind of play with the same defensive intensity that we saw for spurts of that Nuggets game, and their offense kind of bailed them out of what I thought was a not great defensive game, then like if the offense isn't going to be as dialed, obviously last game's offense was ridiculous. So that's what it takes to overcome the level of defense I thought they put on against the Nuggets. But if they're going to let these backdoor cuts and off-ball movement disturb them this way in this game and not be able to put up those points, then it could be a not great night for the Cavs.
Yeah, I think that the defense was actually pretty okay against the Nuggets. I mean, I thought that their role players were just hitting some tough shots, especially early on.
No, they certainly did.
This game, I don't feel like the Warriors hitting tough shots. They're just like, I feel like they're just generating a lot of like super clean offense. Like, well, yeah, of course you're gonna score when you have a 2-on-1 at the rim. Yeah, of course you're gonna make that shot that's open. And Steph missed a pretty open shot on like one of the first possessions of the game. So it's not like they're hitting everything that they're generating. They're just getting clean looks. So that needs to change.
Mm-hmm. Moses Moody, a player that I feel like still has not panned out.
Yeah, one of the guys that like, I can't believe the league let the Warriors get this guy.
Kuminga and Moody?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the Warriors don't even know what they have in either of them 4 years later.
Yeah. That's deep. Oh, Darius.
Oh, my God.
That was so... You just don't see Darius pull that deep that early in the shot clock.
Oh, my God. No.
Oh, what happened to Niang? Good job, Jared.
I don't know. We'll wait for the Tony clip.
Yeah, we'll see what Tony to go frame by frame on that. Guys, I do want to report that Tony is alive. He's planning on making his return to playback, not tomorrow, but on Wednesday. He will be making his return. He's done. He said, 2024, I'm done. He will be back in 2025.
Blessed days.
Yeah.
Everyone needs more Tony Pesto.
I wouldn't say everybody. But he did, he denied. He said, tomorrow, I said, Tony, you want to do it? He said, no can do. So there will be no Tony tomorrow. Chris Manning will be back tomorrow, actually. So, 2 times in like a week. But yeah, we'll be doing some non-Cavs games later on the week. We've thought about doing a trio stream. Hasn't really. We will do it at some point. We just haven't done it. That's 2 blown layups. Yeah, we're gonna try to do that sometime. This has been such a chaotic game.
Yeah, a little hectic to say the least.
This feels like a G League game.
Wow.
Like, this is how G League games are played, where, like, both teams are just running, and you're just like, why are both teams running so much? Like, why can't somebody just slow down?
Oh.
I like that take, though. If you're going to go under that much, he's a 40% three-point shooter. Let him cook. Yeah,
There's so many intangible things about Mobley's game that have really stood out to me this season. Like just the level of aggression, obviously, that's something. But like the confidence too is just huge.
Yeah, and honestly, I mean, it's a high percentage shot too. Like for him to just step into it, it's not even like, oh, you want to see Evan take those shots because you want to see him grow. It's like, no, that's a shot that he's shown that he can hit. That's within the flow of the offense. Like, yeah, take it.
Like you can also like create a ton of gravity on the perimeter by showing a willingness to take those types of shots at a high volume. Because no one was really going to Mobley.
That's the second time Schroeder has just like catapulted himself like crazy.
He's really trying to make the Warriors faithful buy in on him.
Like that was, I mean, it was a foul, but I don't think he needed to like flail around like that. Oh, good job, Strus.
Oh.
All right, Karis. Good job pulling that back out.
Oh.
Strus gives, Strus takes away. Yeah, that wasn't even close to Donovan.
The most under-discussed flopper. Well, when you're stranded on Brooklyn, that does happen to you.
I don't know what that was. The Strus is very contained. Ooh. The Karis is not. Yeah, this is one of those things where I'm going to love to see what the offensive rating is after the first quarter, but I assume it's not going to be high, even though it feels like both teams are scoring a lot. They're just kind of running around.
The Warriors had like 22 points with like 6 minutes left in this quarter, and then they've just kind of gone weird for the last few.
I was at the
missed layups.
I was at the South Bay Lakers and Charge game on Saturday. The Lakers were winning like by 10 like the whole game, and then they scored 2 points in the final 8 minutes. Like
that's a lead.
That's one way to catch an L. Devontae Graham, they had a chance to, they were down 1. They had a chance to like tie or take the lead with under 10 seconds. He goes to the basket and just like smokes the layup. And then he yelled at the refs so much they called a double technical on him, threw him out of the game. So then Imani Bates went down, took 2 free throws, the 3-point game with 7 seconds left. And then they put Craig Porter Jr. in the backcourt because like it's still the Cavs ball. They put Craig Porter Jr. in the backcourt and inbounded him the ball, and he like did like a dribble move and made his guy miss. And no other Laker could get to him for 7 seconds, and the game just ended. It was just like the most bizarre ending I've ever seen from like a professional game. So the Lakers coach,
the
Lakers coach was mad. The poor guy.
I can imagine.
Yeah. And they like in the G League, they like shake hands like it's Little League baseball, like 2 seconds after, and like he was seething.
I think the most underrated part of that story is that Devontae Graham is in the G League.
Yeah, Devontae Graham did not. Bronny was like cooking, led both teams in scoring, and like Devontae Graham said, "It's the Devontae Graham show." Bronny, please exit stage left. So that was something to behold.
Obviously, what people were going to see.
Yeah.
Not people checking their program and being like, Devontae Graham's in the G League. Oh, nice.
Again, that LeVert shot probably didn't need to happen like that. Felt like they maybe trying to get a 2-for-1. Maybe that's a justification, but like a contested kind of off balance 3 from the corner with like 18 on the clock is just not what you want. And I feel like they've just kind of fallen into the trap this game of just like, one of the things that I've really liked about this offense is that they're doing so many things well. You know, like they're attacking the basket well, their guards are playing well, their bigs are playing well, they're hitting shots. They're just like, it's a offense that's free flowing, but it's structured. This game, the offense has been free flowing, but like it's felt completely unstructured.
Very unhinged.
Unhinged, yes. Unhinged like Struce's hair and Rambo bandana.
Hey man, Struce has got some luscious locks right now.
He does.
It's his
that's
best
a good
impression.
Yeah, that's a good kickball there from Karras. Do they still have a foul to give? I think they still have a foul to give. They could just do that too right away. You know, make him burn a second, make him do it all over again.
One more time.
Oh, I think they tried. They just missed.
No.
Ooh, and then they ended up trying to go way too fast there.
All right, Kuminga. Interesting first quarter, to say the least, then.
Happy birthday, LeBron. This is jersey number 2. We have the first City Edition jersey. The jersey made famous for when he hit the game winner against the Minnesota Timberwolves and ignored Isaiah Thomas on the celebration and went straight for Jetty Osman. And then Isaiah Thomas was shipped out like 12 hours later. So
some say that was still a coincidence.
Yeah, I mean, I just love that clip because like Isaiah Thomas was like running towards him like this, like just running towards him, and LeBron was just like, I'm just gonna pretend that you're not there.
As most Cleveland fans try to do now.
I mean that is true. He is short.
Wasn't there a new rumor? The classic like monthly Isaiah Thomas has interest from Team X but never gets signed by that team.
I didn't see that. Listen, I
think it was like Phoenix or something.
I have so many. I forgot how many LeBron jerseys I have. It's rather insane.
Right now, at the pace of this game, the points per possession for Cleveland would be 92.9, and Golden State would be 96.4.
Really?
Yep. That would rank Cleveland in the 5th percentile and Golden State in the 8th percentile.
I knew it was bad. Like, they're just not a lot of good stuff is happening on the offensive side of the ball. Like, they're just
field goal percentage is not much better.
Yeah, yikes.
Golden State is 46.6. And then effective field goal percentage for Cleveland is 50.
Yeah, the Cavs have an 84 offensive rating in the half court. Pretty disgusting stuff right there.
Around the rim is pretty atrocious for both teams. The Cavs have 16% of their attempts at the rim, and the Golden State's 21%. And for Golden State, like most of those were misses on open layups.
I think they had like three just like blown layups, and then they had a couple altered at the rim. Yeah, the Struce minutes have been rough. The Cavs are in the 7th percentile in turnovers right now, turning it over on like 21% of their possessions, which is just not going to ever yield a good offense if you're turning it over that much. Oh my God. That was really dirty. That was
unbelievable.
That was not good. Like, I think that Niang sometimes plays the tough guy a little too much unnecessarily. That time he had a reason to be annoyed. Like, he pulled him down from behind. You can't do that.
Yeah. I have to say, Niang, in my opinion, is one of the least threatening tough guys, in air quotes, in the league. I don't think many players are going like, oh, man, you don't want to get in a tussle with George.
Yeah, I mean, he has a... I will say he's loud, and he's not small.
No, but he's also not someone like physically intimidating.
Yeah, I get that.
I wouldn't look at him and be like, oh man, that's not a guy I really want to get in a scrap with. If I was an NBA player, me personally would not like to be in a fight with George Niang.
No, he is probably at least a foot on you.
Yeah, he would destroy me. But
yeah, there's Sam coming in now. But yeah, another bad turnover that just... A lot of these turnovers just don't seem like they really make any sense.
Well, Golden State returns the favor.
And then the Cavs return the favor.
Well,
this has just been a really it's a really disgusting game. I don't know if maybe the Cavs are hungover for LeBron's birthday. That's possible.
They stopped in LA. LeBron's like, guys, come through.
And they'll be there tomorrow.
It's true. Well, Tristan will want to.
That had to be. There you go.
Thank God. About time. Oh, please.
He was pretty late in getting over there. I will say that he was late. Like, he's still moving when Green is going up, so I think he does have a legitimate point there. I'm just gonna say I wouldn't be surprised if they overturn it. I'm just saying,
Jackson gives Tony a lot of crap.
It's not even
fan,
yeah.
But he might be the Warriors fan, the closeted Warriors fan of the Junkyard Pod. It's not Tony.
Didn't I just show you my bona fides with the Warriors with a 3-1 lead? I have 19 LeBron jerseys on deck. I could switch them out every time out if I wanted to.
That's like an America's Got Talent show.
Yeah, Demo6, we do not talk about that. That charge, I still do not understand how that was overturned. It destroyed LeBron's, by far, the best game LeBron James has ever played. And I know people will point to Game 6 of the finals or Game 5 in Detroit or that Game 6 in Boston when he was with Miami as LeBron's best games. But that 50-point game against the Warriors in Game 1 of the 2018 finals was the best game of basketball ever played. And it was taken away. People think about J.R. Smith, but it's make one free throw and the game is over. J.R. Smith, remember, the time of the time and score, remember the, that awful overturned charge block call. And that's something that they were still new in the whole replay era. So it was just bad. But that LeBron game was the best.
Yeah, that was a tragic day. And I think I agree with your point because look at great performances like that combined with the stage, combined with the cast of characters LeBron was stuck with, the muster
and the opposite side too.
Yeah.
The best team ever
was a lot of
assembled, maybe, but nobody's going to remember it that way because it's kind of phony.
Everyone likes to talk about the Colin Sexton in college 3-on-5 and how impressive that was. LeBron literally played a finals game basically 1-on-5.
Yeah. Timo, you brought it up. So you opened the wound and we just kind of kept it going. It looks like they did, they made the right call there in the end.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah, I'm just surprised Sam didn't play earlier, considering he's had 2 really good games in a row. No Ty Jerome either.
I think it's just the staff trying to get Strus back going again.
Yeah, just some not good Strus minutes.
It's like a tough conundrum with Max Strus because you want to play him enough that he can get back into like the rhythm of NBA speed again, but you don't want to play him too much to where you're just having a guy struggle while trying to just keep him out there for his own sake at the sacrifice of team play.
Yeah, and I think that he's going to get a lot more first half minutes than he gets like second half minutes, especially in a close game like this. Assuming this is going to stay a close game.
You never know.
No, we got Ty Jerome in there now. Well, Cavs are going smaller with Strus at the 4. I kind of like this, especially against a team like the Warriors that play small themselves. Strus is a good enough rebounder that you can get by with it, and then it gives you another ball handler. And Mobley is, very good at basketball.
Oh.
Man, that's tough.
Yeah, this is rough. Yeah.
Oh, Derpy. I see what you did there. Pretty sure that's Derpy.
Right.
Yeah, I like it, Derpy. I think it's more emblematic of who you are. Did he get his elbow?
Yeah.
Or did Kuminga just kind of swing his elbow into him?
Just look at the angle of Mobley's arm.
Yeah, that's tough. He does get all ball, but
except for right there.
Yeah, but if you get ball first, it's fine. There's some good replays.
Jackson was right.
I can see why it's such a fast.
So.
I was right.
Do we give him the benefit of the doubt?
I mean, I was wrong, but that's fine. I think this is standing.
Yeah, no one can attack Jonathan Kuminga like that. The most protected player in the league.
Sometimes they get you with like the incidental contact, and then I'm just like, what's incidental contact? Marginal contact. That's what it is. And it's like, that's such a.
It like almost like degrades the call.
Ooh, I'm 0 for 2. Ooh, Cavs ball too. Nice.
Wow.
See, that's a good challenge because you want to get, keep that third foul off of Mobley, but at least, if you were to lose, you get the ball. You turn 2 points into 0 points. Like, I just hate it when it's like something that like is not going to give you more points. Or like take
or
points
if it was in the first 4 minutes of the game. Like when we thought that timeout was a challenge, we're like, oh, okay, 7-4.
All right, so Derpy, they're really not doing the free fries anymore with McDonald's. Like they just like one day they said we're done, like no more free fries. Like I'm not a McDonald's fries guy, so that's always sad when they like start it for a year and then they just like abandon it like just without telling anybody. That's shameful
Like,
stuff.
if we
Shouldn't
tell
be
you,
allowed.
though, you're just gonna be pissed.
Yeah, but like
they just knew Derpy was going to all the McDonald's and scooping them up.
Well, I think the problem maybe that they were just letting people who weren't at the game go. You know, because it's one thing where it's like, oh, bring your ticket stub. Like they don't give ticket stubs anymore, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, you can just show a screenshot. Oh,
Remember when Tony was writing articles about how the Cavs can't keep Jerome because they'll only be able to offer him $50 million? What an idiot!
true.
For the record,
Wow,
for the record, I told him to write that. I just assigned it. That's your role as an editor. You sometimes
oh. For LeBron's 40th birthday, we could have released why LeBron doesn't make sense for the Cavs.
Listen, we have to keep that in the draft still. It's there hasn't been a rumor. Like it was like as soon as you wrote it, it was like the day he came back and like the Lakers won by a bunch or something like that, and he played really well. And it was like, this is kind of like 2 days earlier would have made a lot more sense. Ooh.
Yeah.
You know, that's those cheap Adidas shoes. You know, if he was wearing some real Nikes, that wouldn't have happened.
Don't talk about the Don Sixes like that, dude. The most popular shoe Adidas produces.
We're gonna make it field goal this quarter. You know, we'll see.
Just wait for this. Nah.
At least it wasn't a turnover. That was. I don't know if that was an insane pass or just like a stupid pass that just kind of like worked out.
It looked like it was kind of worked out because I don't think Merrill saw that second defender coming in when he
did thread the needle though. Yeah, this has definitely been the worst game I think the Cavs have played this year.
Oh, well, I'm so glad we could spend it together.
Yeah. You know what they may need to do? This is one of those games where I feel like they need to just like start walking the ball up the court and just like, let's do some like Mitchell pick and rolls with Mobley. Like, everybody just space it out.
I feel like it's one of those games where Mitchell just needs to like take over earlier because I feel like he usually does in the first and then kind of simmers as the game goes along. But this is Mitchell just needs to take a hold of it.
The $50 million man strikes again, and then commits a foul. Maybe this is a Tristan Thompson game. Who's to say?
I'll go on a limb and say no. I'll be the bold one of the group. Is it a JT Thor game though?
Rough showing against the South Bay Lakers on Saturday.
Damn. But he was a part of
when was the last
night.
When was the last Tristan game? That's a great question.
I think it was like last season against the Bulls or something where we were all like, whoa, Tristan looks really good. And then he came out as the PED suspension like a day later.
Demo, that's how dare you say 2018? Like, he's been good since
2020.
then.
Tristan had some good moments, or 2019 when he randomly started taking the 3-point shots.
He was like really like 2019, 2020. He was like the Cavs' best player, which obviously isn't saying much, but
yes, that's what I was saying. Like, was that the same year as JaVale?
They had.
I think it might have been.
Yes, because they traded JaVale McGee for. So they got Drummond and then they got McGee the next year. Because McGee, they traded McGee for Hartenstein.
Yep.
And like a second round pick or something like that.
Mm-hmm. God, I love JaVale McGee.
Yeah, I didn't. And I don't get why people did. So, but that's fine. I was not a JaVale McGee guy. I was a Hartenstein guy.
Oh, I was too. I was upset that we let him go.
Yeah, I mean, the Cavs had like 19
Obviously,
centers.
Yeah. And it's also one of those things where I don't think Hartenstein on the Cavs was going to be the Hartenstein that is playing now. But
yeah, I'm pretty sure he didn't want to return to the Cavs, if I remember correctly.
What? He didn't like being the third option?
He didn't like being the fourth big behind Larry Nance Jr., Evan Mobley. Well, then Kevin Love. People forget Kevin Love. No Tristan Thompson
I'll
at
never
that
forget.
point. But
no, Tristan was
so you
looking
had
for a career.
You had Allen, Nance, Mobley, and Kevin Love. So it would have been the fifth big. And then they traded Nance for Larry Markkinen.
Yep.
All right, someone got to shoot. Good job, Wade. If you told me the Warriors would have 30 points with 5:30 left, I'd say we all could go to bed in like the second quarter.
Yeah.
Said, this game's over, man. Thank you.
It is over.
Did he give him a nice point to the bench?
Yeah, we should never discount the Ty Jerome revenge game.
Yeah.
It's something about this arena for Ty Jerome.
That is pretty great, pointing to the bench after like your team scores their second basket in the first 7 minutes of the quarter.
Yeah. It's a very Jordan Poole energy type vibe.
Listen, 2 threes doesn't make a typhoon, okay? We can say, hey, we're seeing some things kind of come together along the coast. Let's keep an eye on this. But it's certainly, we don't want to raise the alarms unnecessarily. There's no need to create panic for no reason.
God, it's really tough when November is your slump month with 3 losses.
Sorry. Okay, maybe that was a little too much. You're right. Sorry. Yeah, November with your 3 losses. Yeah, that was a bad month. Those games against the Hawks, I'll never get over them. Just because
I can let one of them slide, but the second one was the most torturous because it didn't even feel like anything changed.
I planned out the whole thing to Vegas for the NBA Cup, and like as soon as the groups came out, because I was like, they're gonna get the wild card and then they're gonna win the next game, and I'll be in Vegas. I can cover this for SB Nation, cover this for Fear the Sword. It's gonna be great. And anyways, I'll stop because I've complained about it enough. Yeah, Sam, that was a foul. We can't,
What'd you get Sam for Christmas? Because you guys are obviously close enough to do that.
I was out of town, so we'll have to see after, when they return from the road trip.
It's okay if you don't want to disclose it. I know your guys' friendship is more on the private side, so.
Yeah, let's have some respect, please.
I'm sorry.
One of the things, so like the Cavs haven't had many games where at least they haven't had many games recently where it felt like nothing was working. They did have a couple games earlier, I think of that Nets game at home where they didn't have anything working when they had their streak going still. They've been calling that all night. And one of the things that like in those previous games, they didn't have anything going. Kenny Atkinson has done a good job of like pushing the right buttons, especially in like the third and fourth quarters, to really like get the Cavs, through whatever they're going through. So this will be another one of those games where like Kenny may have to pull out some unconventional like closing lineups to really help juice this thing, because right now it's looking bad.
Unless Evan Mobley gets into foul trouble, I would see another game in which I don't think Jared Allen's going to be closing for them. I don't see the reason to.
It's been kind of a weird Jared Allen game. Not a weird Jared Allen game, but like kind of an unconventional matchup, and he just doesn't do a good job of punishing these unconventional matchups on like the offensive end like you need him to. All right, maybe that's 8 points in the quarter. So, there's something there. I'm sorry if, there's something there. Are they just going to let Ty Jerome cook? Like, just give him the ball. Maybe that's not a good strategy.
Yeah, you need to keep his confidence tapered somewhat. Oh my God, Jarrett. Oh.
Jesus.
Oh my God.
I don't know why Wiggins felt like he had to shoot that there. Like, it wasn't like there was like
just confused.
Like, there's just been some like really bad shots. Like, I feel like this is a game that like, when like, the old people in your life are like, they don't play basketball, they don't play, they're just shooting threes and there's no offense, it's just shoot threes and nobody plays any defense. Like, I feel like this is the game they're talking about, where it's just like just a bunch of wild, like, I have the ball at the 3-point line, I guess I'm gonna shoot it now. Like, because there's been a lot of that.
It's gonna be something where someone clips that Wiggins shot and be like, this is everything that's wrong with the modern NBA.
That Wiggins shot was bad.
I mean, it probably just injured someone. Poor cameraman. They had a velocity of a comet hurtling the earth. Oh,
there we go. Good job by Allen. Like to.
The Warriors are just too small of a team for Allen not to be more of a presence in it. And if he's not going to be, then we frankly don't need to use him.
Yeah, I tend to agree there. It's like, feed the big
but
man.
It feels like anytime
you
say that, it immediately becomes the argument of, oh, well, Allen's too talented not to play him. And it's like, well, sometimes it does purely just come down to basketball.
Whoa, what happened here?
Oh, why would you know? Because
we'll never know.
To zoom in on someone else.
Listen, this is one of those little moments here where, like, if the Cavs could get a stop on a score, you feel like they could just kind of break this game open that they have played kind of crappy in with just a good like 2-3 minute stretch. Well, that was an offensive foul on Kuminga there. Get that rebound. There you go, Wade. All right.
Same team.
Jarrett, get to the basket. Karras, give him the ball.
Dude, we got Jarrett on
or Wade take it. Now, there you go. Allen will just have to get the ball himself. I just like to get Allen the ball. This game, like, those shots just aren't going in. Love the confidence, but
you literally had Allen with Hield on him. You already had him with the positioning, and it just instead it turned into, I guess, an open weight shot made sense, but you would think the
open weight shot made sense, but yeah, because like
the Garland shot was just forced.
Wade wasn't in a position to make an entry pass to Allen. Ooh.
I feel like that was weirdly one of the more excited times I've ever heard John Michael.
Yeah, he's into it.
He's like he's on whatever these players are on right now. Feels like all the players are like caffeinated from the way they're acting with the ball. Oh, finally.
There we yeah, that was a nice play from Darius. I just don't know why we can't just keep showing the basketball while the basketball's being played.
No, because we got to take a look at Jared Allen jogging back.
Well, it's just like the close-up of everyone's face as soon as like they make a basket. Like, it never gives you anything that you like. Everyone's just kind of like, they just kind of make a blank face, you know?
Yeah, because no player after making like a normal run-of-the-mill shot is going to be like throwing like a parade. Yeah. I feel like they're like waiting to capture like some soundbite or like the player just like being so like demonstrative.
Right. Especially in like the second quarter.
What are you talking about, dude? This is
in like a fast-paced
high-stakes game.
In like a fast-paced game where like, anyways, that yeah, that's a hit. I thought he walked, but nobody on the bench said anything. I don't know how that like travel missed.
What did he do? Oh, Jackson, you missed it. Speaking of which, this Brad commentary reminded me. Brad called Darius Garland the most complete point guard in the league.
I can see that. I can see Brad saying that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm like, wait, what?
Oh, that.
I feel like
somebody needs to go get the ball. Donovan tried to call timeout 5 times.
Oh, nice pass. Oh.
I think he had more time. Mobley had more time there than he thought.
Yeah.
Honestly, an 8-point advantage is probably 15 points better than they deserve. You know.
Yeah. Honestly, like
if they were only down 8, I'd be like, yeah, that's fine. But they're up 8.
It's like, who should feel worse going into this half? I feel like it still is the Warriors.
Yeah, because they're losing.
But, well, I'm saying like, because both teams could say, well, we did hold them to less than 50 points in a half, but I think the Warriors would literally just need to completely turn it around offensively in order to win. And it feels like, for as erratic as the Cavs have been, a lot of it could also be pointed to the turnovers that they had in the first quarter and early in the second quarter.
Yeah.
And the Warriors just flat out are taking weird shots.
Yeah, like I don't think it's like a game where like, oh man, the Cavs are playing such good defense that like there's nothing you can, like the Warriors are just doing some dumb stuff on offense. Miss so many point blank shots. Let's take a look at let's refresh cleaning the glass.
I also am doing
so the Golden State Warriors
got worse.
Well, yeah, they're in the 0 percentile, and the Cavs are in the 2nd percentile for offense. 71.7 offensive rating for the Warriors, 86.8 for the Cavs. For those of you new to the NBA, those are bad. The Warriors have an effective field goal percentage of 33. You know how hard that is? Because like
0%, baby.
That's so. They're shooting. The Warriors are shooting 33% at the rim, and 17% from 3. That's insane.
Well,
these kids.
I can already tell you something. If Jared Allen is going to play and have his play be justified in the second half, the Cavs can't be only getting 10% of their looks at the rim.
So the only thing that the Cavs have done better right now is the Cavs have got in transition a lot better. They've added 4 points, 4.4 points in transition. They have a good offensive rating in transition, and the Warriors have done nothing in transition. So that's where this game has been decided. So far, just the Cavs still turning it over on 20.8% of their possessions. That's in the 10th percentile. So it's like if the Cavs just held on to the ball, they just be a lot better. Ooh, that kid there, that was a very Warriors like miss at the rim. That was also a very Warriors like miss at the rim. I don't understand
Jackson,
that.
if I had you, I was going to say, if I
buckets.
had you guess how many attempts the Cavs have had in the rim at the half, how many attempts do you think they've had?
I'd say 14.
4.
4, really?
Yeah, they're 2 for 4.
Jeez, that's not good.
No, and I think they were the 2 Jared Allen makes late in the second.
Yeah, they're taking a bunch of those like little floaters.
Mm-hmm.
They're
more in the short mid.
Yeah, 2 for 4. Wow, yeah, 8 for 16. So just a bunch of like the little Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell little float. Ty Jerome. Ty Jerome hit one of them. Didn't hit 2 of them.
Mm-hmm. It's always hilarious to me when arenas play like a song that's definitely not appropriate for the age group. That's on. Playing Sticky by Tyler, the Creator is far from what I think kids should be listening to at that age.
You should send a letter to the powers that be.
Yeah.
Send a letter to the.
I was listening. I was streaming your game the other night, and I couldn't help but notice you're playing very inappropriate music for kids of that age group.
I mean, that kid could drive a car. Number 4, he may be able to drive a car. Like these other kids,
I feel like someone lied
children.
on his birth certificate. They took him out. They realized he wasn't the father.
Wait, what? Wait, you're 14? No, sorry. Yeah, can't be out here.
This isn't your matchup.
Like the white team is all girls except for this one guy.
That's what I was just noticing too.
There's just so lot. And then the other team is just like children. So I feel like there's just a lot of chaos. Like it's like a couple families got together and said, "Hey, like let's let our kids play basketball at halftime." Whereas like there was one game, I think there's one game we were watching earlier in the year where like it was entertaining. Oh, that's over and back, guys. Where's the ref? You got to call that. Also, there's no chance these kids realize that like the 3-point line's like 4 feet further back than at their local gym.
No, they're probably like it doesn't even faze them. They're like, it looks a little off, but whatever. Oh, okay.
This is just like the Cavs and Warriors game. Just hectic. There's no points. It's pretty aimless. Nobody knows why they're doing what they're doing.
I want to know the cleaning the glass stats for this.
Has to be a higher offensive rating.
That's what I was gonna say. I was wondering what percentile these kids are in right now. Number 4, though, that guy, his cleaning the glass stats are gonna look nice.
Yeah, I was about to say, Dan, like these Euros, they're just like,
dude, they got another adult.
It's wild how much they're yeah, we'll get you a VIP in a second. If anybody else needs a VIP, now is the time to say something. If you need a VIP, say it now.
I'm going to refill my water. I'll be right back.
Go for it. But yeah, all those kids were trying to do Euros. I'm not entirely sure, but like they were doing the Euros, but also doing like scoop layups, and it doesn't seem like underhanded layups make sense when you're like 4 feet tall. So I don't know. I'm not in youth development, so I don't know. Tim Legler said the Celtics are beatable. Yeah, I mean, I think the Celtics are beatable. I think right now they're playing below their skill level, but I do think there is something to the fact that like teams don't. There's a reason why teams don't like go back to back, or why like teams don't advance out of the second round of the playoffs after winning a championship. What was it? I had this stat earlier. Yeah, the last team to advance out of the second round of the playoffs was after winning the championship the previous year was the 2019 Warriors that ended up losing to the Raptors because all their players got injured. And it's easy to kind of say like, oh yeah, like that Nuggets team wasn't, shouldn't have, nobody thought they would repeat, but like in the moment, you don't think that like, oh, the Lakers are going to fall off. The Warriors aren't going to get out of the second round. All those things. So I think there's something to the fact that like teams don't repeat just because aren't as good the next season. So I think the Celtics are beatable. I think they will look better than what they are. But yeah, winning is hard, and playing into June and then going over, like celebrating a championship, playing at that level, and then following that up is really tough. Like even the 2017 Warriors weren't as good. Sorry, the 2018 Warriors weren't as good as the 2017 Warriors. Like I thought they were more beatable. It's just kind of like the fact that they're, they were so much more talented than like even that Rockets team that, they had no choice but to keep winning. But, repeat winning is tough. Also, it was really hard for me to talk when they were showing all those great LeBron highlights. Good stuff. Just like these Donovan Mitchell highlights that they're showing now. They know their audience. Yeah, opening night, the crowd went insane when that ball finally like bounced in. That was great. One of the loudest moments that I've heard from them this season. Wow, I can't believe the Cavs were losing to the Raptors by that much in the first quarter. I thought they won by a bunch because that's, Ty Jerome had a huge garbage time game in that opening night game. So, oh yeah, I think they dominated the second quarter. Anyways, what was your poll question? Do the Cavs have another 80-point half?
Yeah,
I think if you're talking about tonight, I think that's nah.
Yeah, it was before tip.
Yeah. This is my third jersey change. This is an old one. I think this is like a youth XL. So, it doesn't fit.
Still in tip-top shape.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say it doesn't fit like it, like it should. And it's also like the numbers are like really small because like anyways, but yeah,
Because anyways.
Because it's for the youth.
The youths. I forgot to tell you, Jackson, because we haven't spoken in person in quite some time, but I will be in Cleveland the 25th for the Cavs.
January 25th. All right, hey, yep. we'll have to hang out. We'll do a what do you have any like how long are you going to be in town?
I'll be around for I think Friday through Sunday.
Okay, and the 25th is a
Saturday.
We'll have to see maybe about doing like a Fear the Sword meetup before the beforehand. That's awesome. Yeah, the Cavs play the Rockets. That should be a good game. I think the Rockets are a tough matchup for the Cavs because I think those teams that are really like physical and have length on the wing, I think they give the Cavs some problems. So, hopefully the Cavs win because we only get like one game a year. You want to see a dub, but yeah, it should be a good game.
The last time I saw you, Jackson, actually in person was Cavs Rockets, like 2 years ago.
I thought it was Cavs Pistons.
No, I saw you for Cavs Rockets. It was when the Cavs clinched playoffs in 2022.
I thought, but but that was like Merrill's first game or something like that.
It maybe was.
He was still on a 10-day contract.
I still have the newspaper from that game where it's like Caristelberg, funny enough. They're like, the Cavs are back, clinch postseason berth for first time without LeBron since whenever.
Nice. Well, I mean, listen, I believe you because I go to a lot more games, so it's easy for them to blur together. But yeah, that's sick. So yeah, we'll definitely do something. And anyone in the chat,
Junkyard Pod ever return?
come to the game. Well, Tony's been dead for literally like 2.5 weeks, so that's why. And we were doing we will return, but we were like in a lull, and then Tony died, so it was like, all right, like I don't know what we can do. We can't do anything without Tony.
No, Tony is the maestro.
Yeah.
Damari.
Yeah, Ty Jerome's jump shot does look odd. It takes like 10 minutes for him to like get it off, which is why he has to like keep taking like steps behind the 3-point line or be like super open. So yeah, it is kind of just an odd. It's an odd shot. They really called that foul on Mobley. I think that was softer than all the other ones that they've done. Which is saying something because there's been some soft ones. Like, what is this?
Yeah,
the problem with this is that you're only like to challenge it. You're only saving 1 point. So because he made the basket, it's not an offensive foul. So you're saving the foul and the 1 point, which just isn't really worth it.
Oh, wow.
Oh, there's no way that was off of Allen. I mean, there's no way that wasn't off of Allen, yeah?
Yeah, no, that looked like it just went right off his hands. Did not think Trey Jackson's hand was in there on first glance.
Yeah, I think the ref got that one right.
Well, and I
have no idea what happened.
That
I think that Mitchell hit a 3. Yep. So that was cool.
I also think I might be like a half second ahead of you.
Really?
Yeah, because
I reacted a little late. You saw it?
Yeah.
Are you watching on the stream? Do you have access to the stream?
Yeah, no, I'm watching on the stream.
Okay.
Maybe it was you just delayed because I was immediately.
Yeah, I have a delayed reaction. Yeah, I was doing this with Chris the other day, and he didn't have access to the stream and didn't say anything. He was like watching it on his TV. And I was like, Chris, why are you so far behind? So that was bad.
It sounds electric though.
Yeah. Ooh, there you go.
Okay.
So that's 6.
This is what I wanted to see.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a hot run from hot run from Donovan got can really just open up this game. That comment about Chris got me.
Yeah, it got me too. That's why I was laughing.
Yeah, he had his antenna up trying to get the game. Like, hold on, Jackson, I gotta go adjust that real quick. Another one? There you go.
Oh
Donovan Mitchell.
God.
That's 3 straight.
Dude, why does Draymond always feel like he's just ready to throw fans?
I think this is what you need. 14 points. A 14-point advantage.
He definitely is, but
I think one of the things, and I wrote about this in my recent What We Learned, is that it feels like the Cavs offense is just inevitable. Like, they're so good, that they're going to like eventually, get things to start snowballing against you. And I know it's just Donovan who's doing it right now, but it's like the Cavs just have so many options to do that you're starting to see that a little bit. Let's see if the Cavs can keep it going. But, we know what this offense can do. There's a reason that they're the best in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, don't love that foul, but whatever. I don't think we don't. I'd say that overall we do a pretty good job of not complaining about the refs on these playback streams. I don't think this has been their best day. Just gonna be.
It feels like a soft whistle comparatively to what we've seen for the season. It almost feels like the league sent out a mandate or something to like dial in on something.
I think it's also like how chaotic this game has also like made it like a lot tougher to officiate. There you go, Evan. Evan is starting to hit shots now. We are back.
We are so back. Yeah, that's right, Steve.
17 points. 17-point game.
Do I dare check the cleaning the glass efficiency to see if we're like treading water now?
No, because it takes a little bit to update. So,
well,
yeah. What a fitting tribute these first couple minutes to LeBron James. He would appreciate that. He may be watching on the stream now. Who can say? The Cavs are heating up now. Yeah, they are. They are inevitable. Like, this is just kind of, when the Cavs have so many weapons. I think we almost have to like turn off. You're right. He is on stream based. So that is true. But does he know about playback? Like, if somebody told LeBron about playback, I think he would be in on it. You saw that
LeBron
tweet that he had about.
Been in on playback for a while ago.
I've known about playback forever. Oh yeah.
I was a big playback guy. I said when they first started up, I'm like, that's gonna be something.
Yeah. Did you see the tweet about how he was like? It's like, I really, I was playing Madden and I really enjoyed talking to Rican killers. I was like, this guy is insane.
LeBron is such a cornball. It is so funny.
He is the funniest person alive.
Him talking about the Kobe 81-point game where he's like, man, I was watching it and I could just tell. I'm like, this guy's dropping 50. And then he got to 70 and I'm like, 70? Why not just go for 80? And then he scored 81.
He's just an insane person. I love him.
That and LeBron Book Club are my favorite bits for LeBron. LeBron the fortune teller and LeBron the reader. Malcolm X. I'm telling you, man. This book. He's a great mind.
I do feel bad for the book thing because I feel like reading, like, he's not like picking up. I don't think he's picking up very like he's picking up some dense books. I'll say that, and trying to read them in front of people.
Fine.
But so I would just say that like I feel bad for him, and we need to get him on like. Honestly, we need to get him like a membership to the Akron Public Library because you can do so many audiobooks.
But the only issue with that whole thing for LeBron, if you kind of go back and analyze it, is that he says, they're like, oh, did you just start reading it? He's like, yeah, I just started reading it. I've been wanting to read it for a while, but then proceeds to give a 2-minute answer about what he likes about the book so far. And if you just started it, you told me to give a 2-minute answer. He's like, yeah, I just started it. I'll let you know when I finish it.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. So I give him a pass on. I give him a pass on that. Except for when he was reading the Hunger Games books. When he was then I don't give him a pass because I think that he was just trying to be cool. Because like all the cool kids were reading Hunger Games books in 2012.
Man, that girl Katniss, she's got a real point.
Yo, this cap.
I knew when Katniss made it past the 6th survivor.
Ooh, Dean Wade.
I knew when she met PETA, I was like, that's her guy right there. I just knew. Oh, nice.
There you go, Evan. My favorite thing is when I'm talking about something that's has nothing to do with the game, and then Dan just brings it back to the game in the chat, like, hey, the Cavs are hitting threes. So thank you, Dan. It's one of my favorite things.
Dan in general is one of my favorite things. He's just such a great presence.
Another one? Let's go. Donovan Mitchell. Now it's a 23-point
Case in point. Here we are praising Dan and Dan.
No idea what's happening. Think that Draymond Green just missed eight layups in a row. You can't keep the Cavs offense down forever. They're unstoppable. Too many guys.
Too many dudes.
You may have to do like two grades, like a first half grade and the second half grade. I think that may be, that may be better. Maybe easier.
I feel like these grades are reflecting the second half only. Everything in the first half was like Thanos snapped. My God.
That's a foul on Evan.
It also just felt like that Schroeder shot was like the most awkward hitch to it.
Yeah, well,
I know it was with the clock expiring, but yeah, well, you know what?
Did Kuminga hook onto? Because you don't see. Yeah, that's tough. Because you don't see Evan. Evan doesn't you never see him hook onto people or anything like that. He's not like a Kelly Olynyk type of guy. But yeah, when they get your arm like that, it's really tough to get out of that. So I get it.
I felt like you were 2 seconds away from saying Kelly Oubre, but then had to recalibrate.
No, I sometimes stutter with words that start with vowels. So I had to really, yeah.
Well, now I just want to go find traffic and walk into it. So
no, yeah, he's not going to do that again. Yeah, so so when I say I agree, go Cavs, I agree is a really tough thing for me to say. So I have to wait a second to say it. Anyways, it's fine. It's
Demo. Trust me, I know. I hate myself.
No, you should not. You shouldn't hate yourself. It just shows that I'm. I sometimes do a decent job of hiding my stuttering. So all that, all that hard practice is paying off.
Hell yeah. So anyway, guys, thanks for joining the stream. I'll be heading out. Got some grades to write.
Listen, maybe. Who's to say? It would be a good bit. No, yeah, when I was a kid, it was really bad. So usually I do a pretty good job of not stuttering, but sometimes when I get I don't know, sometimes I just do. And it's really bad when I get nervous. So last year I would get so nervous before every time I'd ask a question at a Cavs game, because it was my first year really covering the team. And it would be just really tough sometimes. So shout out to JB Bickerstaff for always paying attention to what I'm saying and not giving up just because I kept stuttering. But this year I don't think I've really stuttered at all this year. So I've done good in that for him. But yeah, it just comes up every now and then.
When you're best friends with Sam Merrill, doors open.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, dude, what? I'll tell you what, Buddy Hield is the king of making you think he's going to be something on a different team within the first few weeks and then completely pulling the rug out on those expectations.
So I like Buddy Hield. One of the things that I just think that not the Cavs, the Warriors were just overly like leveraged on what Buddy Hield was providing. He was shooting like 50% from three at like the first month of the season or something like that. So
the Warriors fans were ready to anoint him as a splash brother.
It's true. But they were also did that for Jordan Poole. So, you know.
Well, Swaggy Poole brought them a title.
He was a part of the title. Dude, Max is struggling, man.
Is it like too early to also remind people that Max Strus low-key was not great for like 80% of last season?
I'm going to push back on that. What he wasn't a great three-point shooter, but he was really helpful to the team. Well, he was one of the few guys who could like dribble. He was versatile on defense. Like if you look at his like on-off numbers from last year, they're pretty insane.
I want to clarify that. Like, he was brought in for the three-point shooting, but the three-point shooting never really felt like it hit its stride. That's what I really meant by never got it really going.
Yeah, the three-point shooting, he'd run super hot. He was like a bad version of Jetty with three-point shooting, with how hot and cold he would run. Like, he just have stretches where he was just like I go back to that game against the Mavericks where he just couldn't miss a three. Opening night against the Nets last year, he couldn't miss a three. Yeah, there was that game against the Nets. I remember his first game on the team. He hit like 5 threes or something like that. It was like, the Cavs have a movement shooter. Let's go. And then it was like, oh, well, that's not an every night thing.
Yeah, I liked your comparison with the like a more like Jetty to an extent, because it felt like with Jetty, if the shot didn't have any chance of going, then it's roll the dice with Jetty being on ball, which was like Russian roulette with 5 bullets in the chamber and 1 blank. So
yeah,
it was nice to have someone that we felt like was a more complete player when the shot doesn't falling.
I love like Jetty is like one of my favorite players, but I will say, like, Max Strus is like a 10 times better basketball player than Jetty Osman because he can do so much more. So, like, Max Strus is a good player, even when his shot isn't falling. But, like, a game like today, it just seems like he's really pressing for his outside shot in a way that's not – I don't feel like it's been super beneficial. So
I think it might be in part too because the Cavs have a lot more going on offensively, and there's a lot of players who have kind of found how to make their impact on ball. And Max Strus right now is so out of the loop that the only way it feels like his impact can be felt is by making these shots.
Yeah, and also it's a very different offense. And like last year, I think like a lot of his success came from like the second side pick and roll, where like Mitchell or Garland's on one side trying to run a pick and roll with Allen, and then it's like, let's, that doesn't work. Let's throw it over to the other wing. Max Strus basically does the same thing with the other big, and he gets an assist or like a clean layup. Like he did a lot of that, which was super helpful, which like the Cavs couldn't really do that with like, a Sam Merrill, and Karis LeVert was a little, we know what that experience was. So what Max Strus gave you was really like a really consistent, like sturdy basketball player, which is what that team needed. This team, they're like using him kind of like I wish that they would use Sam Merrill. Like I feel like Merrill's not used as the same off-ball threat as he was like last year. And it seems like, Max Strus, like everything he's doing is like to get himself an open three. And it's like, I don't know if I really want that. So he's just still trying to figure out how he fits into this offense. And
Right.
but as the scoreboard is letting us know, the Cavs have the leeway to do that because they're good. And the Warriors are bad.
More so now than in the first half, where we were kind of hoping that the cord would get kind of pulled on Strus when it didn't seem like he was necessarily gelling.
Yeah, but it's also like when your team is so good as the Cavs are, you really just need 6 minutes of good basketball to just absolutely put a game away. They've played 24 minutes of mediocre at best, maybe bad basketball, and then 6 minutes of good basketball, 21-point game, 23-point game. Mm-hmm. So it's like, this is just how good the Cavs are. And I know the Warriors are in a tough spot. The Warriors have played really bad tonight. Steph Curry hasn't got going either. But still, the Cavs are good.
Games like this for Curry probably have to feel so deflating.
The Cavs are determined to get 100 points like this quarter. It's not going to happen, but they're, that's how they're playing.
This game is a great, microcosm of the Warriors, where it's like if Steph truly isn't going, got going or going nuclear, this team kind of just flounders because the gravity that Curry generates alone creates so much more opportunities for the supporting cast. And with Curry literally feeling like a non-factor in this game thus far, the offense is just drowning. Yeah.
Also, I do want to say we lost. I think Derpy, aka Free Fries, went to bed. We lost him somewhere, so he's missing this, which I hate that because the Cavs, they're back in Free Fry territory. Not saying it's going to happen, but it's possible. Jared Allen.
To be fair to formerly Derpy, he is the king of commenting in the beginning and then coming back when the Cavs hit 120 and then going Free Fries and then leaves the chat again.
That is true. I do have respect for somebody who, all right, I got to lock in for the second half. I can't listen to these buffoons anymore. I got to actually put it on the big screen. So yeah, I get that. But, shout out to the real ones. You know who you are. Dan Demo, Cavs LQ. Cleveland Cavaliers still in here? No, we lost Cleveland Cavaliers, but he's still a real one.
He did say it was past his bedtime.
Well, that's fair. I mean,
Jarrett,
everyone in the chat,
solid.
You guys are all real.
For real.
Cavs are gonna be great to read your grades. Well, the Cavs kind of played bad, even though they won 135 to 73.
If you're wondering why the players all didn't get A's, I watched the first half, and it was not a great time.
Ooh. 1 second.
Something tells me it's New Jersey time. Oh. I thought for sure it was going to be a wardrobe change.
No, I had the space heater on. It was getting hot in here. The Cavs are heating up.
Wait, what?
This room is heating up.
What's the temperature in Cleveland?
It's not too cold. Yes, yesterday it was in the 60s. It's 36 degrees, so it's not hot. But this room for whatever reason. Here. Yeah, but this room it does a terrible job with keeping heat in, so I always have to use the space heater.
Gotcha. That's my bedroom. I just found out it has no insulation in the roof.
Yeah, it's great in the summer too because then it's 150 degrees.
Yep.
So when it comes playoff times and I'm doing these things, I'm going to be just drenched in sweat. It's going to be great.
Moody.
Yeah, just not good stuff from Max.
This is rough.
I need to see what his on-off is. He has
He's
to be
been
like
playing a decent
he has to be like a
amount, so it
minus
might not
14.
be. But I feel like he's been in the game so much that he has to have been a beneficiary of these stretches.
Maybe. He's
Like, I wouldn't
plus
be shocked
6.
if
He's
he's
plus
like
6.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. He will have a huge game soon. That is something that I do value, especially from people who aren't like your core rotation pieces, is like somebody who can like come in and just, catch fire. Oh
My God. Something tells me that's going to be on Shaqtin' a Fool.
He wasn't even close to getting that dunk off.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, Demo. We had like 6 minutes of good basketball. Maybe 7.
Yeah, that was cool.
This was good here.
But then it just leads to... They don't want to show the Karis dunk.
That's weird. State-run media. I do like putting Evan back in there, even though he has 4 personal fouls. Like, hey, let's put this game away. Don't need to...
Yep.
Trust your guy.
Oh, my God, dude. It just is so, like, unnatural.
Yes, we are rooting for you, Struce.
We're not rooting for the CCP. Oh,
that was a little much. I like it though. When you're up 2022, you can do that.
Great passing.
I'm almost surprised that they made that because they've missed that layup like 10 times today. Oh,
George.
That's a bad foul.
Who is it the best game for tonight?
I'd say Donovan has had a good game.
Yeah. But what
Donovan, Darius had a good game. Darius has had a good game. I mean, there's been good moments from other people. Karis LeVert has 6 points, 2 of 8 shooting, with a turnover. Yeah, I mean, not his best. It's kind of wild we haven't seen. Yeah. Ty Jerome leads the bench in scoring with 8 points. We haven't seen him in the second half yet, have we? I don't think so.
We might have for a minute or two. No, I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Oh. This honestly could be a day where like everybody gets like C minuses, but it's like, well, the Cavs still won by 20, but still, it wasn't really good. It was more about how bad the Warriors were.
Yeah, it's like something where, especially when you compare it to the season performances thus far, it's going to be tough to be like, yeah, this was like an A within the context of this game.
Yeah. I think Wade's had some good moments.
Oh. All right, serious.
Yeah, Steph currently has 8 points on 3 of 11 shooting. So, that's tough.
Not ideal. All right. The Warriors are still in the first percentile.
Happy birthday, LeBron. We're rounding it out with the championship softball jerseys. I wish I had like the part
Cavs
like
are
the,
still the hat.
Yeah.
Hey, you brought props, you know. You really showed out for the occasion.
Danny. Nice of you to join. I see that you were also out celebrating LeBron's birthday. But good to have you. Good to have you back.
I just realized maybe the league thought LeBron was going to come back before the trade deadline, and that's why they matched up Cavs Warriors on his birthday.
They said, just in case, something fishy happens, we want to make sure that's.
They're like, I don't know, man. Will he like JJ? I mean, I know they did a podcast together, but. The Cavs are still excelling in this game in transition. They're a plus 7.4. The Warriors are still not ideal in transition at a minus 1.8.
It's always depressing to do like the canned fourth quarter. That like canned fourth quarter like hype video when it's like a 20-point game and it's like, yeah, we know that this is not going to end well. Like. That's always depressing for the home crowd. But, it's not depressing for us.
No, I'm having a decent time.
Yeah, Danny, it was kind of really an ugly game. I think the Cavs have played a bad game, honestly. But, they had about 7-8 good minutes in the third quarter and really just blew the game open. The Warriors have kind of played bad. And, yeah. You know what, Demo6, I am proud of you for doing what we all should have done. We should have all, taken the day off and just eaten tacos, pretended it's Taco Tuesday, the whole day. So.
Watched
Space Jam.
What's that movie?
Could have been LeBron Marathon.
Legacy.
Space Jam.
Also dress up as Beetlejuice.
Could have watched.
Favorites.
Gonna go watch Trainwreck after this.
Just the one scene where LeBron doesn't want to pay the bill.
There's a lot of, honestly, like I know people make fun of LeBron being a bad actor. Every scene he's in that movie is hilarious. Have you actually seen the whole movie? No, he is
very funny in that. Yeah, I have. It's funny.
When he does the Kanye Gold Digger. When they're playing basketball, that's one of the funniest things ever. So I would encourage everyone to look that up because that is hilarious.
I think I saw somewhere that Bill Hader actually scored that point on LeBron, and that was his genuine reaction.
I mean, I'm sure it would be. LeBron's a psycho.
LeBron's funny, man.
Yeah, I think that they used him the right way. They
didn't shove him down your throat.
Well, and they also made him a caricature of who he is. He's cheap.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure he's not you know what I mean.
No, I've heard other teammates say, I think Kevin Love and Channing Frye and Richard Jefferson on one of the road tripping pods said LeBron is so stingy, you'd be surprised.
Well, he did the apparently Dwayne Wade said he wouldn't pay for roaming when he was on vacation for his phone, so he couldn't get his phone to work, and he would use not Spotify, what's it called? Pandora. I don't know if anybody uses Pandora anymore, but use it with the ads. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever have Pandora?
I use SoundCloud, which was the worst version of Pandora, where you could only get stuff that was bootleg, pretty much.
Yeah, the thing with Pandora is that some days Pandora would be fire, and other days it's this is just you're just not playing any good songs, and it's if you skip one too many times, you're just you're done for an hour. So
you have to decide how much you truly disliked the song. Was it enough where you couldn't fathom listening through the whole thing, or could you just like trudge through it?
Ooh. Really,
wow.
Every time it seems like the Warriors were gaining some momentum, Donovan has said, no, let's calm down.
It's not ideal for the Warriors when they're pressing that Litany Waters button.
Also, this is a really odd lineup for the Cavs. You have Mitchell out there with
Oh yeah, white boys are us.
Yeah, I was trying to think of a creative way to phrase that, but thank you.
Yeah, I probably could have been more subtle.
I like
scrappy guys.
I like when Sam gets his baskets at the rim off ball, when he uses his the leverage he has as a shooter to kind of do those sneaky back cuts. And what I don't like is when he dribbles 3 times. So that was a good job there of giving it up and then going. Kuminga can't fall back in that situation. Oh, good hands from Sam as well. Good pass.
All right, Dean.
Bang.
Dude, great game from Dean.
And we're back to 21. Yeah, I mean, the Cavs have played well overall in the second half. I mean, dude, can't deny that. I think there was, I don't think they closed the quarter particularly well. But, you can't complain.
They played
they've
very
dominated
well in the middle of the third.
The beginning of the third. I mean, they won the third quarter 37-27. That's pretty good.
If you like okay quarters.
Yeah. Yeah, good job. Good job getting over there in time by Sam. Hands up. Not being, good stuff. Ooh.
Oh my God.
Good stuff there. You just have so much spacing out there.
Is that the Nasus?
Maybe. I don't think so, but who can say?
I don't know, man.
But yeah, the
Cavs
are breaking 100. But yeah, you have so much shooting out there, and the Cavs are doing such a good job moving the ball. This reminds me of this lineup here. Reminds me of the those lineups they were running in the during their run last year, where it was a bunch of shooters and just Donovan Mitchell, just hey, Donovan Mitchell, you just get to the lane and just kick it out. And that's kind of what we're seeing here at the start of the third quarter.
I would like to point out that I have scoured Twitter, and Thanasis Antetokounmpo is indeed sitting courtside at Cavs Warriors.
Insane. Does he play professional basketball?
That's what I'm kind of wondering. Someone literally said, "Why is Thanasis Antetokounmpo courtside?"
Because if he's on the I don't think he's not on the Bucks roster.
No, he's not.
Yeah, well,
I did see. Also, I did not know he had a podcast, but he does.
Good for him.
It's called Thanalysis.
Donovan was on the Thanalysis
pod.
Dang. And we can't get him on our pod? This is crazy.
Dude, if we had a better title like Thanalysis, with a title like that,
it's a good title. Man, Thanasis was on the D League All Defensive Second Team in 2015. He's been playing so long that he played in the D League. Crazy.
That's crazy. That is honestly wild. I don't know why I thought he was younger.
Yeah, he's older.
That's insane.
Are you looking on his Are you looking on his Wikipedia?
No.
This picture on Wikipedia, this is the main picture of him. He looks like he's about to lose the dribble, and it's from the skills competition when they had
oh yeah.
The Antetokounmpo.
Wasn't that against the CAVS too?
Yes, it was.
The three. Yeah. Oh, it was earlier this year. Oh, well, NBA star and Cavs point guard Donovan Mitchell. Well, that's a typo.
Yeah.
Damn it. Yeah. That was poor analysis. That's true. Dan's so sassy in the comments.
I mean, Dan's right. He was playing point guard.
I said I agree.
Well, you were the one being critical of it, so Dan. Thank you for having the
defenders.
Thank you for having the back of the analysis podcast.
Diehard Patreon supporter Dan.
Do they have any merch? I feel like I need a hat. That'd be a good, I wanted to get Chris a Jay Crowder has his own store, his own merch shop. Yeah, he does. So I wanted to get him some
Does he have his own logo?
I think it's more like a script, like a Boss Man 99. I would encourage everybody to look that up. You can get some Boss Man 99 gear. So I wanted to get some for Chris, but I didn't.
Damn, why not?
Because it was $45, and that's a lot for a gag gift.
But they get the misery Chris would have.
Yeah, but it would just stay in his closet, and then with shipping and stuff, it's that's $55 gone. I am a broke boy, despite my litany of LeBron jerseys.
These are all bootleg.
They're not all bootleg. This one is bootleg, though. This was one of the DH Gate or whatever.
Well, that's understandable.
Yeah. I mean, well, I was broke when I was actually broke when LeBron was in Cleveland. So, yeah. People in the comments are talking about basketball. So, Dean is a great backup small center. I agree. For whatever reason, Dean looks smaller than he is. Dean's 6'10", and if I've seen him standing next to Jared Allen in person, and they're the same size. So he can be he's not the rim protector Jared Allen is, but he's more mobile, can guard more positions, is a great rebounder. So he can really give you small ball minutes, and you see in a game like this where the Cavs, I wouldn't say it's been a phenomenal Allen game. Mobley has struggled with some foul trouble. Dean Wade can really just go out there, give you good minutes, and also their offense is so different when he's there, just with the amount of shooting that they have. Because even though Mobley has improved drastically as the 3-point shooter, Dean Wade is a better 3-point shooter. So
he's just playing with his dude. Feels like that's all Curry's 3-point attempts this game have just been him trying to pull.
I'm afraid Darius is actually a Cavalier, not a Wizard. Got him.
Damn, Danny, that's tough. Lowercase.
Yeah, I think that the Warriors are pressing. So, but what else can you do? I mean, you're down 22 with 5 minutes left. Ooh, I don't know how that wasn't a foul.
Yeah,
so Mobley got hit in the face.
And if we can see
that's tough.
Where were you for the Moses Moody game?
Right here, actually. Wearing 4 different LeBron jerseys. Yeah, I'm not sure if they're flying out right after this game or if they're flying out tomorrow morning, but they do have a quick turnaround. So you'd like to, surprised Mobley and Garland are still out there. I guess 20 points, 19 points. You also have to factor in LeBron's 40th birthday party. So, he could show up on the injury report tomorrow. We'll just say it's happened before. Yeah, Dorian Finney-Smith debut.
You think Thanasis will be there for that one?
Hopefully. Maybe this is just a podcast activation.
So honored to have LeBron on his 40th birthday to be my guest on the Thanasis pod. LeBron, thanks.
But yeah, the tomorrow's game, I don't really love the Dorian Finney-Smith move, honestly, for the Lakers, because I'm not a D'Angelo Russell guy. I don't think Finney-Smith is that great, but and I don't think D'Angelo Russell's great either, but he could dribble the ball and he could do some playmaking and create his own shot. Like, the Lakers don't have anybody besides LeBron and Reeves who can do that. So I just don't understand why. Like, I understand why you want to move off of Russell, but I don't think that's the guy to do it. And they're giving up like a bunch of second round picks and stuff.
Second rounders, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
3 of them.
One of the things is that the Lakers aren't going to be good forever. LeBron, I don't know if LeBron's staying in LA long, even if he doesn't retire. So it's like those, second round picks I think are pretty meaningless, but the Lakers have a pretty good history of hitting on second round picks. It's like, I don't really like it. So
I also didn't like it. I felt like it really didn't solve any of the problems they had already. And also, it's something where I feel like Dorian Finney-Smith has entered the Robert Covington range in the sense that, like, it feels like the name has way more value than the on-court product. I think the idea of Dorian Finney-Smith is what allures teams. Like, a 3-and-D wing, that's fantastic. But that version of Dorian Finney-Smith hasn't been around for multiple seasons.
Yeah.
And it felt like it's like what PJ Tucker kind of also turned into after a certain point, where it's like people just buy in on the name value. I think D'Angelo Russell is still worth more probably than Dorian Finney-Smith, and it feels like they gave up a ton of assets for someone that, I feel like in 2 months we're going to be saying, wow, Dorian Finney-Smith is averaging 4 points a game for the Lakers.
One thing, so I saw something about Russell being a buyout candidate, and I do want to say that it's tough to make a trade for the Cavs. Like, it's very tough for the Cavs to make a trade just because of how their salary structured and kind of like the guys to get, the guys you'd have to move, like LeVert, have a really valuable role in this team. And I think, as you're kind of seeing with Strus, is that it's going to take some time for people to get adjusted into this offense. So I don't think a trade necessarily works. But if you were going to trade Caris LeVert for like a 3-and-D player, picking up D'Angelo Russell makes a lot of sense for the Cavs if he was bought out, because he had his all-star season with Kenny. Kenny was he's been living off of the reputation of those Kenny Atkinson seasons for throughout his Minnesota days, throughout his Golden State days. So it's like, I think that if anybody could get through to him, I think it would be Kenny Atkinson, in the same way that we saw him do that with Caris LeVert. I don't think I would go that route just because of trades and unpredictability. And I don't think the Cavs have a glaring hole. They're on a 71-win pace. So it's not like, oh, this team needs to make a move. But just saying, D'Angelo Russell, maybe there's something there if things work out a certain way at the deadline.
I also think, in a vacuum, I would still think that D'Angelo Russell, to me, is more valuable than Dorian Finney-Smith. I just think, again, it comes down to, I get why people think Dorian Finney-Smith is, a needle mover, but if you really look at it, he has not been the player that his reputation is for many seasons in a row, at least 2 to 3. There hasn't been a team, I feel like, that has had the defense kind of change with the presence of Dorian Finney-Smith. And on the Lakers, I don't think it's going to make much of a difference. LeBron is, the Lakers in general defensively, outside of Anthony Davis, do not have a presence there.
Yeah, I don't disagree a whole lot. I think you're a little, maybe a little too harsh, but I think it makes a lot more sense if you had 33-year-old LeBron instead of 40-year-old LeBron. Yeah, I'm not a fan of D'Angelo Russell. I'm just saying that if you've had to give up Caris LeVert, it would make sense to get D'Angelo Russell. That's what I'm saying. Not saying that
in pairing with a wing.
Right, if you somehow, because it wouldn't work to do a trade, but if, let's say, D'Angelo Russell gets bought out, the Cavs sign him, and the Cavs trade away Strus and LeVert plus picks for Cam Johnson, something like that, or Isaac Okoro, whatever. In that situation, you would have a hole as a ball handler, and Ty Jerome isn't going to fill that hole. Maybe you could get D'Angelo Russell to fill that. And I agree that Caris is too important. I firmly believe the Cavs should not make a move unless it's I don't even like moving Niang at this point, because I think when you have the vibes are so good right now that moving anybody is just kind of messes with that perfect chemistry that you seem to have. So yeah, I wouldn't move anybody. I definitely wouldn't move Caris, but yeah, Strus or Okoro, I could see that. But the problem with moving Strus or Okoro is that you kind of have to get a similar position back, which is always tough. So yeah, I think it's just tough for the Cavs to make a trade. Yeah, I think we don't do anything. I think I think they will pick up a buyout guy. They're going to do that again. They've done that 2 years in a row, and they still have the open roster spot. So I think they will do that, especially because they're right on the luxury tax line. And if they don't make a move, they're not going to go into the playoffs with two less guys. So you're going to be in the luxury tax. I think they're going to use some of the mid-level that they still have to sign a buyout guy. So that's what I would anticipate. And hopefully it's not somebody like Morris, who seemed to be a character.
I don't know, man. Vibes seemed really good. He was very vocal.
Was very vocal.
He was a big proponent of JB.
that last game, it was game 5 where it was the last game of the series that he had like 20 points or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I think we missed our window. I was going to say you should probably get going to do your grades, but there's 1:30 left.
I'm just pulling up the box score.
Well, they can still hold them 290. Yeah, the Cavs have arrived. They're really good. I think they're better than the Celtics. They've been the best team in the NBA by a mile. I do think that there are some matchup concerns with some teams. I think that the Thunder and Warriors are two teams that I think they match up pretty poor. Could potentially match up poorly against. I'm excited to see how those games in January. They play those teams twice each in January. I'm excited. We should learn a lot about them. But yeah, they just seem to. Demo says, I do think there's value getting below the tax line. Yeah, it's tough to get below the tax line now. So I think they'd have to get rid of like Merrill or Craig Porter Jr. to do that. And it's like, but then you'd have to like not replace them with somebody. So it's tough. I don't think they can get below it. I mean, they could get below it, but I don't think it makes sense to get below it. It's just kind of frustrating that you're like so close to being under it. So yeah, just wanted to say thank you everybody for joining. I don't know why you would ever watch any of the stupid shows, the New Year's Eve shows tomorrow, when you could just hang out with me and Chris and watch some Cavs Lakers. LeBron James versus Donovan Mitchell. 40-year-old LeBron James.
Is it his debut as a 40-year-old basketball player?
It is his debut as a 40-year-old basketball player. So
wow, I wouldn't miss that for the world.
Yeah. So,
with
anyways,
99 Chris Manning.
Yeah, Chris will be there. I will be there. Well, we appreciate being on the phone. We appreciate it. We love hanging out with you guys. We enjoy doing this. So thank you everybody for joining. It's been another Cavs win. The Cavs are a dominant team. They just keep doing this. So yeah, thank you for everybody. Corey, you have anything else you want to say real quick?
I won't be on the stream tomorrow, so I hope everyone has a good New Year's Eve and a great start to 2025.
Oh, head to fearthesword.com. I had an exclusive interview with Bronny James that's coming out tomorrow morning. Tony Pesta is doing the recap of tonight's game that should be up shortly. Corey, your guy, is doing the grades. So that will be up tonight as well. So head to fearthesword.com tonight in the morning. We'll have some good stuff up for you. So I should have said the Bronny thing earlier. Anyways, good night, guys. Go Cavs. I agree, go Cavs.
I agree, go Cavs.
Oh, happy birthday, LeBron.